Get palladium white gold, $1,125. Save $11 off any method of shipping that you choose by using that discount code XSN, visible on the screen right now. Narya, Vilya, and Nenya. Nenya, which was revealed by Kate Blanchett to Frodo, to Elijah Wood, when she said, Frodo, to be a ring bearer is to be alone. And she revealed her power to him, saying how tempted she was by taking the one ring when he offered it. But then she passed the test and said, no, I will resist this, and I'll go back into the West, back into Valinor, and remain Galadriel. And that was the culmination of a 7,000-year-old ban. Galadriel was banned from Valinor. You should know your Tolkien, guys. It was a hardcore piece of history, and it was handled on screen so brilliantly as just an offhand throwaway line, but it made a reference to an important 7,000-year story arc website. You can get this styled as a brooch, as it is shown here, or as a beautiful necklace. Combine it with a mithril chain, and you're set. You're totally set. What else do I have? Ooh, hey, this looks familiar. The front door of Bag End. That's right. That's the front door, the iconic round green door of the ancestral home of Bilbo Baggins and his nephew, who he adopted, Frodo Baggins. Now, this front door is really familiar, especially in The Hobbit, because Gandalf went up to the door when Bilbo didn't realize what he was doing, and he took his wizard staff and he went and he scratched a big ugly mark in the door. And these beautiful necklaces, this is in bronze, yellow bronze, or white bronze. It's available as a necklace or as a keychain. There's even a smaller sterling silver version of this. It's beautifully hand done. Look at this. This is Bilbo Baggins' round green front door. And that shows you the color, the difference in color between yellow bronze and white bronze. But as you look really close up and check out the stunning detail, you'll realize battle axes, hobbit front doors. Aren't these amazing? You can even choose different rope chains. If you would want a different sterling silver chain, or perhaps substitute black leather cord, Badali will be happy to accommodate you. They accommodate all their customers. If you have any questions, send them an email. They'll reply to you right away. If you really want to talk to a human being on the phone, call them up and say, hey, Janelle, what's up with my order? I want to switch the blue stone for a red stone instead. And she'll be like, awesome, cool. We'll update your order and we'll do it for you. That's being handled by a genuine mom and pop business that cares about their customers, and they take care of business right on, spot on every time. That is why we love recommending Badali Jewelry. They're fantastic. Now, we're going to show you one last item from the worlds of J.R.R. Tolkien before we move into the Dresden Files. And this is another lovely Hobbit reference because there's a key, a very important key, that was required to get inside a very hidden, secret door. That's right, a secret. 5 feet high the door. There it is. 5 feet high the door, and 3 may walk abreast, which is on the flip side of it. Yep, 5 feet high the door, and 3 may walk abreast, which is the same imprinting on the map, on Thror's map. Super cool, super detailed, $39 for this amazing bronze Thror's keychain. There's a much lighter and smaller version of it available. This is our sterling silver, smaller version of this key. And it is also available at BadaliJewelry.com. And you know what? It's amazing. The sale prices you're going to get here, guys, are beautiful. And they're going to take really, really good care of you. I'm telling you. I love this stuff, and I love shopping at Badali because they take really good care of all us folks. That looks great, man. That looks really, really great. Here is the smaller version of the key. But it still has the same detail. Isn't that great? Right here, the most awesome stuff that you've got. if you like detail, and if you have an eye for detail, the way that Professor Tolkien did, then perhaps you can see how fitting it is that when Badali makes their jewelry, they pay attention to the same details with the same amount of care. Fantastic. So that's a really nice trip down J.R.R. Tolkien land. But I've got the Dresden Files. I've got Kevin Hearn's The Iron Druid Chronicles. Let's continue apace because this beautiful jewelry show is not quite over yet. You guys like the Dresden Files as much as I do? Check this out. Here is Harry Dresden's powerful ring of binding. And I also have a beautiful pentacle necklace from the Dresden Files. It was a hit show, a very successful show on the Sci-Fi Channel. Remember that? And it's too bad that they didn't get the continued second and third season because we all really enjoyed this show. But this stuff is really fantastic. The Dresden Files, popular book series, and this braided force ring is a really cool piece. It's $89 in sterling silver. And, you know, these books written by Jim Butcher, Mr. Jim Butcher himself, sat down with Paul Badali, and he said, all right, I think that we can make some awesome pieces of jewelry. Let's work on this together, and they'll be official, tied in with my books. Isn't that cool? The braided force ring stores kinetic energy when Harry uses this ring. And he wears it all day, and it builds up and builds up kinetic energy as he walks around and lives his life. And then, when he's encountering an opponent, someone who's trying to mess with him, this ring will deliver a huge concussive force with the energy that is stored inside of it. Isn't that cool? Sterling silver, guys, and it has amazing antique finishing all the way across the band on the outside. Harry uses this force ring effectively delivering physical blows to non-physical entities that would otherwise get away. It can be made with an antique finish, just as you see pictured here, or it can be made with a clean, absolute clean finish without any darking or antiquing in there. And it's available right there at badaliJewelry.com. And it's a beautiful item. And it comes with a certificate of authenticity. It is available for $89, direct from the mind of Dresden Files jewelry, written by Jim Butcher. It's really super cool. And what else do we have? There's this really beautiful pentacle necklace. It's a really cool pentacle necklace. And it even has the option to come with a ruby or other precious stone set within it. Now, here's what you're going to find out about the Dresden Files. When you get this in the mail, you're going to love this. It's available in sterling silver or in this other version that's a bit more expensive in white bronze. It's really nice, $39 in white bronze. The sterling silver, which is this one right here, is $95. Okay? With a 24-inch plated chain. This is Harry's pentacle necklace that was passed down to Harry Dresden from his mother, Margaret Le Fay. He frequently uses this pendant as a talisman to store magic and the magical forces that he encounters. When infused with Harry's will, the pentacle glows with a low blue light. Maybe not so different from Sting, which also glows with a soft blue light. It measures approximately 32.5 millimeters across in diameter, and in sterling silver, it weighs 9.6 grams. It's a little lighter in bronze. The bronze is 8.1 grams. And the back of the pendant has been textured with this really nice textured finish. You may not see it here in this shot, but it's really kind of cool. Really, really kind of cool. And of course, there's a marking on the back that tells you whether it's sterling, silver, or bronze. This one does not say anything. Doesn't say anything at all. That means this one is the white bronze one. Wow, isn't that fantastic? And this one says sterling silver on the back. Right there. Sterling. Beautiful, isn't it? So if you want to get this one with a beautiful red ruby as part of the pendant, they have that one available, and you can also substitute other precious stones. It's a nominal price difference. In fact, the one that has the red ruby inside of it is $115 in sterling silver. And it's also possible to, replace it with any other precious gem that might match your birthstone, whatever you would like. But it is really, really cool. I love this. Also, Bob the Skull. There's some really cool pendants here, and they're really kind of fun because Bob the Skull is a great character in the Dresden Files, and he can be either good Bob or evil Bob. So these pendants have a blue or red stones. It was a smart mouth spirit and a powerful sorcerer. He's a real smart mouth, a real smart ass, but he gets trapped inside the skull and becomes this crazy character in the Dresden Files. All right, now this may be falling out of its box a little bit, but at least it gives you a chance to see. See the red eyes? There you go. There's Bob the Skull. Really cool. And this one has the blue setting. Nice. Oops. That's funny. Let me try this again. I'll just turn this around real softly. There you go. Blue or red? Two different versions available of Bob the Skull, immortalized in the pages of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files. Super cool. Bob's essence is visible in the warm orange light, which commonly fills the eye sockets of his skull, but rarely seen is the evil Bob when he has the cold blue light, which is this one right here. So it's three-dimensional. It's available in your choice of orange cubic zirconia or blue cubic zirconia, and it's just really fantastic. It comes with a 24-inch long gold-plated curb chain. You can spend $12 more and get a 20-inch silver box chain. How about that? 14-karat gold version. Here he is. Here's my buddy, Bob the Skull. The one in sterling silver is really reasonably priced. It's only 55 bucks. Only 55. But if you want the 14-karat gold or white gold, it'll be $759 or perhaps $789, depending upon your choice of precious metals. As always, take advantage of the deals that we're bringing you. Look for the sale prices that are there. It's really an excellent site that they've built and fairly easy to navigate at BadaliJewelry.com, and use that code XSN15. Make sure to type that in as your promo code when you're at the checkout of your shopping cart page. Save $11 off any method of shipping that you care to try. Harry Dresden's Shield bracelet is up next. This is a really cool and funky piece because charm bracelets, as Kimmy will tell you, charm bracelets are always fun because they jingle. That's right. Charm bracelets are a terrific favorite of ladies and women all across the world because they love the dangling. They just love the sound of dangling and jangling. Now, let me bring your attention to this. I'm going to set this up a little bit so that you can see what we're offering. This is a really cool, one-of-a-kind, iconic, it is the most iconic item from the Dresden Files. Normally $244, it's on sale for $193 with all silver charms. This is inspired from the pages of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files. These 6 medieval charms, skillfully crafted, individually inspected, and carefully hand-finished. All of them. Aren't they great? This is his foremost source of defense. When in use, the bracelet forms a pale blue dome of light, a metaphysical barrier which deflects kinetic attacks such as bullets and blows. Worn on his left hand, Harry is seldom seen without this amazing bracelet. It is so iconic. Look around here and you'll see the different shields that measure from just over an inch long, each one of them, just under or over 1 inch long. We have the lion. Here's the lion, the dragon, the fleur-de-lis, the Celtic cross, the phoenix, and another fleur-de-lis. There's 2 fleur-de-lis in 2 different designs. These are fantastic. The lion, the dragon, the fleur-de-lis, the Celtic cross, and the phoenix. Superb. It weighs 47.5 grams in sterling silver, and it's really, really cool, guys. Check out the Harry Dresden stuff. And send a petition to the Sci-Fi Channel and say, we want our TV show back. We want our Dresden Files back. Please, tell the network what you want, because sometimes they actually listen to the fans. So, we've brought you J.R.R. Tolkien. We've brought you some really awesome Dresden Files jewelry. And I have another cool thing to show you. Before we move on to our final author and the property of the Iron Druid Chronicles, I'm thinking that these are really beautiful. These are the Winter Knights opal earrings. We've never, ever shown these before. Guys, these are exclusive. These are an exclusive on Shop XSN. You're getting these first. They've never been shown before on our network. They're really lovely pieces. They come from the pages of the Dresden Files. And you'll remember the character of the Winter Knight in the book Skin Game. Dresden is suffering from a crippling headache due to parasites residing in his mind. The only relief that Harry is able to find takes him on an adventure to meet across the Demon Reach, and he meets the Fairy Queen of the Winter Court. There was a small stone in her palm, a deep blue opal. I leaned a little closer, eyeing it. It was set on a silver stud, an earring. And these Winter Knights opal earrings are available in your choice of 2 sizes. The larger 8mm stone, shown here, measures just over 8.5 millimeters across. The smaller is a 6mm stone. They're really beautiful. They're available as a pair of stud earrings, okay? $39 for the larger size as a single, $59 for a pair. $59 for the bigger ones as a pair, and the smaller ones are $39 as a pair. And they are set in sterling silver. Really lovely. And it comes with a certificate of authenticity as well. So there ends one of our coolest, beautiful blue opals that we've ever brought you. And if you love opals as much as I do, these things sparkle. They sparkle like nobody's business. They're a little strange how they reflect the light. I think they're really cool, and they look great. Looks really lovely. I'm so glad to show you these on close-up. Now, I'm going to take a moment to move on to our final fantasy property. That's right, Kevin Hearn's The Iron Druid Chronicles. Dun, dun, dun. This will be our last fun items of the day. This is Atticus's necklace. It's really cool because it has, kind of like the other charm bracelet, it has the presence of all these other charms and icons all the way around the outside of it. Now, if you've ever read the Iron Druid Chronicles, this is officially licensed as Atticus, Atticus's iron bracelet. Atticus's iron necklace. It took Atticus over 750 years to complete this charm bracelet. It has 10 silver charms all the way around the iron necklace itself. The bear, the stag, the wolfhound, the owl, and the otter. There's a camouflage charm, a night vision charm, and a magical sight charm. Look at these guys. See all these different charms all the way around? There they are. There's a healing charm and a soul catcher charm as well. Aren't those cool? There's quite a few of them. So the options that are available this is fantastic. This iron amulet is cast in actual iron. That's right. This thing is cast in actual iron, folks. And the charms are available in your choice of sterling silver or in pewter. That's right. Sterling silver or pewter. That will have different prices. The pewter is on sale at the cheapest for $65. White bronze available for $95. The sterling silver is $139. It's an amazing necklace. It was $205 marked down on sale. That's right, $205 marked down on sale to $139. And save another $11 from BadaliJewelry.com when you use XSN 15. This is Atticus's iron necklace. Aren't you digging this? Now look what else I have to show you. I have even more coolness here to show you from the Iron Druid. This is Granuaile's iron pendant. You got to see this because this is our last item of the day on this jewelry segment, featuring amazing items from BadaliJewelry.com. This iron pendant is inspired by the story of the teardrop iron amulet worn by Granuaile and the Morrigan in Kevin Hearn's book series. Look at that. It's really awesome. It was forged from a cold iron meteorite. The amulet, which is hung on a gold chain, was given to Granuaile by Atticus. It provides protection from fey magic, as you well know. It provides protection from infernal hexes and several forms of old craft, from European to Kabbalistic spells. You can choose from a 20-inch long or a 24-inch long gold-plated rope chain. The price, you guys, it's only $25. That's right. You can get Granuaile's iron necklace, only $25, handcrafted in real iron. Beautifully done. And I'm so glad that these things all come with a certificate, a card of authenticity. They're made often in cooperation and with the blessing of the authors themselves. And that's why Badali gets all this, creative freedom to design really cool stuff like this. And we offer the best prices. We're bringing you all the deals, guys. This has been a terrific journey down fantasy literature, jewelry and artifacts, and magical items of great power from several different fantasy franchises, not the least of which J.R.R. Tolkien's immortal Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit books. Really pleased to bring you these authentic designs from Badali, a name you can trust. So, now we've come to the end of another great segment. I am your friendly, amiable, and sometimes gregarious host, Clifford Broadway. Get your thesaurus, all right? Boys and girls, that's right. Get your thesaurus. This is Shop XSN, your shopping network. All the coolest stuff is here. We're coming to you live every night from Meltdown Comics in the heart of Hollywood. We're going to be back very soon. After another few moments, we'll set up new cameras and a new tableau, and we'll have another segment for you coming right up. After these messages, we'll be right back. 50?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I thought it was a little under.
No, we went 50.
Huh?
We went 50.
Yeah.
We went 50 minutes.
We went 50 instead of 60.
Right, but say at 6:30 we had to cut down to get
Okay.
get that place set up.
Oh, good. What's in there? What's next?
X-Files show.
The X-Files show?
Yeah, it's episode 1 out of the 6 episodes from season 10.
Yeah, but
They're doing like after X-Files, like like after Walking Dead.
Oh, great. Oh, okay.
Are we even showing the X-Files today here?
No.
No, they're too busy doing Jamie's wrestling.
Is that live?
No, I think it's just pre-recorded and
I don't know. Okay. So, should I prepare a different segment after they're done?
I don't know. That would be a
What are they doing?
interesting question.
They're doing a post X-Files broadcast. After X-Files broadcast. Well, this looked all nice.
Yeah, so pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's tempting.
I can resist everything except temptation.
I know, right? I have my mom's credit card.
Shit. Careful with that. That was a famous quote from Oscar Wilde, by the way. I can resist everything except temptation. All right.
I'm gonna flip out.
It's gonna flip out because you want to watch it, but you can't watch it.
Yeah.
Can't watch it till
Don't you
later.
have the special TV thing,
I don't have Hulu right now.
or a DVR?
Yeah, I could. Maybe I could just buy the first episode or something like that.
Did you see these at the store yet?
Is that the complete Blu-ray set?
Nope.
What?
Oh shit. It's the little golden books.
Yeah, kids are gonna love. I used to buy those when I was a kid.
Oh, is that the Golden Books?
The ones that I just posted on Facebook.
Oh, the Star Wars Golden Books.
Yeah, the little golden books.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're all uniformly designed with the same.
Pretty sure they cut half of the violence in there.
Well, I read the one for Empire Strikes Back, and they do the whole thing. Darth Vader revealed a terrible secret.
Oh, really?
No, Luke, I am your father, which is the incorrect
Did you
quote.
ever see the guy who
But it's all in there. No,
Well, you
Luke
would
screams.
probably do those Golden Books
Have
now.
you seen the
He
theory
did like
that
Golden
Rey
Books of like
might?
Silence of the Lambs.
Have you seen the
and,
theory
I'm
that
waiting for
Rey
that. I
might
haven't
be-
seen that.
Have you seen the theory that Rey might be it's fucking ridiculous, but it's kind of brilliant. That Rey might be the clone of Darth Vader. Like they cloned DNA from
I
Anakin
thought the other guy. I
Skywalker.
thought the other guy, the ghosty guy, what's his name?
You mean General Supreme Leader Snoke?
Snow, because Snow has like a scar that's like Darth Vader.
Snoke.
The Jedi.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, Anakin became a good person at the end, and now he's bad.
Do me a favor, grab the. There's the for the sound. Yeah, take those two.
Are you going to need this one that I'm finished with?
What we're gonna need is pull those two out and wrap them up.
a time when SVU wasn't on TBS?
It was, but in college, it was like you're not looking for it. I was looking.
And then if you want to watch it chronologically, you're not going to just like wait for it to come on TBS chronologically. You're going to get the DVD.
That's right.
I want Benson and Stabler from day one.
Yeah.
I got you covered.
And then Lizzie, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Lizzie. I am a commercial producer, and I have been obsessed with the X-Files since I was 11.
11. I think
I
I started
That's
at 12.
good.
I started at 12, so I think you got it.
I remember watching Darkness Falls with my dad when I was like 8 and being scared shitless. And then didn't watch it again until like season 4, I think. And then I was like, oh, that Duchovny fella's handsome.
Sure. And then I remember a time when I started to switch over from Duchovny to be like, who's that lady?
Right around the time you invited Mary up to your
You know, Mary's got red hair still,
Yeah,
so,
it worked.
you know.
We had red hair back then.
Yeah, I probably had red hair back then.
That's true. That's a good point. And your bathroom is covered in red hair dye.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you about that. All right, so the show has been off the air for 14 years now. And that is a big fucking deal, because that's a long ass time.
And cursing's allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, by me, yeah.
Okay.
Only me, only I get to curse. You listen to me.
She's only got a limited number, and she's really burning through it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
So,
really going through it.
the bleep is gonna happen.
Yeah. So it's I feel like the X-Files has been in, dare I say, the zeitgeist, even though I hate that word. But right now it's kind of being circled through, like it's on magazine covers and on TV, and it's really exciting. And there's always stuff that talks about the fan base and how kind of crazy we are. And I think it's because like we live in
Royal we there.
the royal we.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're talking for all of
Wow.
the fan base?
I
Oh, I
mean,
think
I'm
you're just trying to
saying-
include yourself
I'm
in
not,
that.
no, I'm just
Wait,
saying.
isn't the literal use of we is all of us? You know, don't listen to him.
Yeah,
He
don't
thinks he's a
worry.
doctor. Actually, he's only a PhD. He's not like a real doctor. It's fine.
Can Twitter verify?
Yeah.
This is the grammar hour.
Yes, this is the grammar hour now with Ben Tully.
Thanks, Dr. Ben.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back on track. So it's a big deal that it's back now because we've waited so damn long. It was on TV for 9 seasons. It ended at, I think a lot of them admit, not its greatest point. Right?
It definitely ended post peak. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had like a Kobe like last year.
What was its highest peak?
At its highest peak was about season 5.
Oh, yeah.
Season 4,
Yeah.
season
4 and
5
5,
were
yeah.
the highest peaks. It was pulling in like 20 million or something insane.
Viewers?
Like at
Yeah.
a week. And then towards the end, it still was pulling in like maybe 9 or 10 million, but that's like half what the audience was. And at the time, the last season was notoriously, for those who don't know, without David Duchovny right here. He was like, I'm gonna go work on movies. Bye. And so he peaced out. And then he made an alien movie.
Made an alien movie that did really well. If we all remember that lovely gem Evolution.
Yes. Orlando Bloom,
It was,
huge.
it was like a bad Ghostbusters.
It was
Yes,
Ghostbusters
it
not
was
good. It was supposed to be good, so I can understand why he was like, yeah,
He also
movie.
was an 8 though, right?
He was
in
in like half of the 8.
Right.
Yeah. So then this guy came along, John Doggett, right here, boom. This is Agent John Doggett, came in later seasons. He gets a bad rap, I think.
I think he really
He did a
tried.
really great job. This is also not his, this is not FBI uniform.
Yeah.
This is the T-1000 from Terminator 2. FYI.
I was just always waiting for him to reveal that he actually was a robot. Well, they did that joke at one point where they were like, "Oh man, that's really a machine."
That's really
Yeah.
Show him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Robert Patrick's really good.
He is super good.
Really,
think
like, I wouldn't be upset
I
off
think
he
he
came
gets-
back.
Yeah, I really liked him.
I mean, when I was watching him
Yes.
for the first time,
Yes.
and I didn't have the expectation of David Duchovny coming back at any moment, which I don't think was very clear for people going into season 9, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially because they got teased in 8 that he does come back eventually. Right? Like, you know, if you just watch him as television shows, they're not bad. They're not bad for like
They're
early
really not.
2000. There's some good, like,
there's some fun
and then,
character
you
stuff
know,
where,
it's
like,
great.
Scully gets to kind of become the Mulder
Right.
kind of relationship.
And that's the thing, the show is always, they always say that it's about Mulder and his quest, blah, blah, blah. But this homeboy, he don't change. But this lady's like, I don't believe, and then at the end she's like, I kind of believe. Yeah.
Well, that's what.
I mean, unless you just watch the episode
Right.
that we just watched, where you can just erase a
Right.
couple
Yeah,
seasons
take it all
of.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you were sure they just erased 3 movies.
I mean, that's gonna happen, right?
Boom.
Yeah, for the best.
Okay,
Yeah.
so would you say then that Chris Carter is George Lucasing?
I would say so. A little bit.
You know, let's see. Let's see.
I mean, I
Friends
also,
are there.
it's very easy to dump on Chris Carter and be like, oh, terrible man, well, he's ruined, whatever. But I mean, he didn't actually, no, there is the internet. No one here, but like the internet in general is like ready to go, like, and turn on him at any second.
Well, let me say this. So we're talking about Star Wars, and I think I needed one thing to happen when Star Wars came out, and it had to not suck. Because we already gone, like, it would have just, I think it would have just deflated all of America.
Yes.
Like, the world would have just indented. Like, we would have just been so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And while this first episode wasn't stellar, like, this is not going to make a top 10 list.
No.
It's building, and I can see something happening. So it didn't just suck. Like, there were little mics hanging out.
Right. The production value is not terrible.
All his blood just like
Yeah.
Right.
all over.
I mean,
Well,
so
we'll
when
get to
that
that.
you were in
You
30
gotta think about it this way too. It's like after 14 years of abstinence, like when you go
Yeah.
back to it the first time, it's like, like it's not gonna.
No
be
one's
that
ever gonna have
similar.
fun, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta give it a couple of times.
You lasted 45 minutes, good for you. Yeah, but I actually want to see, since I know the show like the back of my hand, and Ben's kind of like a Force fan through marriage,
Yeah.
I almost want to ask Ben, do you remember what the last episodes that had happened, like the series finale back in 2002 that you didn't watch live, that you watched 4 months ago? Do you remember what happened? Like, where did we leave our heroes, Ben?
In the end of season 9.
Yes.
Mulder
Yes.
puts the truth on trial.
Okay.
And then we come to the conclusion that the aliens may not have been aliens the whole time, right? Like, it's more like he's like, oh, the guys are doing it. No, all right.
I mean, it doesn't
He's
seem
like,
like
come back,
We-
throughout, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the desert,
Mm-hmm.
and then we blow up the cigarette smoking man.
Right.
And there's a bunch of black helicopters. Got a lot of money for that
Yeah.
finale.
Yes, yes.
And then they hugged and kissed over, like their sadness.
Am I remembering correctly, or does it like actually take place in Plato's cave? Like the whole truth going on?
You know, it was mostly like a clip show,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Right.
Oh yeah, there was definitely a lot of clip shows. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, we're gonna take it through in a
There was a
trial.
really impractical computer screen
Mm.
that was see-through with green letters, and I'm like, I can't even remember what it says. It's backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Are we able to show? I actually did a recap on Vine of the last part. It's a 9x19. It's part 1 and 2. I don't know if we're able to show it. Somebody, maybe.
No.
That's fine. We don't need to. It's fine. It's fading. It's coming. No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're basically right. It essentially is just Mulder being like, I'm back and I'm going to put the truth on trial.
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
And Scully's like, yeah, the aliens are here. And they can't handle the truth. They did a confusing thing, and I'm glad that they didn't do that. They kind of skimmed over it in this episode of My Struggle, which is the first episode that just aired. They did this really confusing thing where there were super soldiers and then there weren't super soldiers, and they were people and they're aliens, but they're people that are human replacements that are aliens that are doing bad things. And I'm actually pretty proud of him that there was nothing that said super soldier in this episode.
Let's just forget that whole.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Lawless a super soldier?
yeah, she was.
Yeah, for a hot second.
Yeah.
See, that can't be.
But okay, so now let's just get to the first episode of season 10.
Is that what we're going to call it?
Yeah.
Season 10?
It's season 10.
Sure, but I mean, they're calling it the revival.
It is.
Right.
Well, it's not a reboot.
Yeah, the miniseries.
No, they're calling it a miniseries, but it's definitely season
I
10.
don't disagree with that.
Listen, I want there to be a season 11. We're
Yeah,
calling
that's the
this
thing. It's
season
like, if you're
10.
going to call it season 10, it implies it is a season 11.
Yes. So, I mean, the first one, the first thing that I actually noticed was that they have Fox Presents comes up, which is interesting because they never had that before. So Fox is like, this ours. Like, they want to make sure we know that it's on Fox. I'm like, okay.
Even though we're already on that.
Yeah, I'm like,
right.
we know what character's name. Yeah, but it starts off with a voiceover of Mulder going through, basically taking us through, like spoon feeding us where we were, where we are now. And I thought it was an interesting tool to use photos, but I was bumming that they didn't use like a slideshow. Like old school Mulder used to like present a slideshow.
And then the screen could have burned.
Who was he talking to?
Right? I think he's gone crazy and he's just mumbling to himself.
Well,
And
he
his
lights it on fire. Like, is that him like just
Is that just him like getting rid of the past? Like
He's burning it.
That's Chris Carter telling everyone out there, like,
Yeah.
I know that happened.
Yeah.
But, like, we're gonna start fresh.
Right. And here's
We're gonna start fresh by rehashing
Everything
the
right.
9 seasons.
Yeah.
Except Joel Hill's here, guys.
Hey!
Look at that.
Yeah.
He's the best.
The thing that's interesting too is that so this picture right here that we have right here. This is in case you're like, who are these people? This is Scully and that's Mulder and Hank Moody. And the interesting thing is you can see this here. This was supposed to be in there. Tony, you were asking earlier if there were scenes that were possibly cut because the first episode in general I think plays kind of clunky for some people. And there was supposed to be on the street scene like a kiss that Fox had been promoting. This is a promotional image that they had used, and then when it wasn't in there, everyone was like, "What? Where did it go?"
I mean, there was like a lot of habit.
Line,
Yeah.
it says something snarky to Tad O'Malley's have like, oh, I heard you were funny. It was like,
Right.
that was a response to that.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Mulder, like, nothing Mulder did in this episode seemed out of whack for Mulder, but I just, like, it's Scully. You watched them blow up Senior Spender. Like,
They didn't technically blow her up. She got abducted.
okay.
And then they
And
set her on
there's a bunch of
fire.
other
Right, yeah,
people.
she had an alien baby.
Right. A baby who could move things with his mind.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who she gave up
Right.
because she was
Because
afraid
she was
of
weird
the
people.
conspiracy.
Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a frontier town, old timey. She gave him up to prospectors. No, and that's interesting to bring that up because they hit upon that kind of like a lot in this of like your child, but we have a child together. And I'm like, some of that I understand is that you need to, as someone who's a writer, I understand that that's probably a note where they're like, we want to make sure that it's clear that we know that they had a kid together.
For all the people who
There's
stopped
9 people
watching.
watching the X-Files anew right now.
I think there might be more than you think that are actually watching it new, but
If the viewership really drops off by half, right? Like half of the people are maybe coming back for the first time being like, I never watched 9. I don't think I need to. And you're like, where's this baby talk coming from?
that's the thing, yeah, because once Mulder pieces out, at the end of 7, she says she's pregnant, and he leaves. Classic. Yeah, he's like, bye. I think a lot of people pieced out when he left, so I think that's just them reiterating the thing. Oh yeah, here we go. Right here. The internet meme. Yeah. This is one of my favorite ones that happens. Which is 100% accurate.
Now that they're platonic work friends again.
Yes, platonic work friends who make out with their like each other's faces by looking at them. Basically, I feel like they just.
I think that's just the only way Tuppy can act.
Right, it's just
It's not even acting.
he just stares and is ready.
Wanting to get in there.
I remember that they actually like speak to each other in a normal tone of voice in this new episode because like just doing a rewatch recently, like toward the later seasons and even in 8 and 9 with like Doggett and Riff, they only ever talk to each other.
What do you think is happening in the case?
Yeah, and it's the damnedest thing because then we're like,
You know what's also super weird that I've noticed is on Netflix that I don't remember when I watched it live was those later seasons. They're talking super low, but then they're also like when they're walking through a hallway, it's like, and you're like, holy God, like what is happening? You're like,
They're having a hard time with the Foley operators.
Yeah.
They're like,
No, those guys, if they're 9 seasons deep, they're just like,
right?
someone's gonna notice me.
You got them coconuts over there? Let's just do it.
Flippity clap like a little horse.
I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of like real meta way to interpret that, where you're saying that in 2002, like we still thought we could have private conversations, but now in 2015, it's like everything.
That's a lot of credit. You're giving it. Carter's watching this and going, yes, that's what I was aiming for.
That guy
right
gets
there.
it.
This thing is. That's
guy,
right.
he
That's
knows
right.
what's up.
Somebody write that down for me.
I just wrote episode 7.
Okay, so then the next kind of set of images is the Roswell that they show, right?
Yeah.
So we go from flashcard situation of Mulder. Oh yeah, hold on a minute. This image of Mulder here. P.S. this is a guy who's not doing great.
No, not good.
He's like, I'm rocking my shades. I got the 5 o'clock shadow, which is like classic TV talk for like not doing good and I'm sad. Like,
Sure.
I think it's coming in so.
Movie too.
Yeah,
like
which
the
he-
first time we meet him
yeah,
in the second movie,
he was full on beard.
But you also
But he was way more healthier mentally.
Yeah, but this is a man who spent 14 years doing nothing but looking at the moon.
Right. I was just gonna say.
I think
hopefully more like a
Yeah.
man who went through hell
Yeah.
fornication.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The close of the X-Files perfectly parallels the rise in true internet pornography. Like by 2001, like he's like, I don't really care about this alien stuff anymore.
Right.
Look at all this porn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got DSL now.
Single
This can happen.
handedly keeps it in everything in business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scully was like, too much porn, I'm out.
Right.
She literally just texted me happened. She was just like, I'm out, can't do it.
She's wearing heels and stuff.
Yeah.
Hurts the feet.
Okay, oh yeah, so okay, let's look at this Tad O'Malley guy right here. Boop.
There he is.
So Joe McHale, first of all, congratulations on getting on the show. You're very funny. I think you're fun as a character, but like this, you need to
Oh,
not.
it's so forced.
You need to
I don't
not.
think they
You
very
need to not go
rarely
after Scully. It's
in the
weird.
original show ever introduce like an extra love interest.
Yeah.
I mean, like they do. There's like
episode
yeah, there's like
Actually,
occasional ones.
fun
Bambi
fact.
the entomologist.
Well, fun fact,
Yeah.
the pilot of the X-Files was... Stop talking.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The pilot of the X-Files, actually, Scully was supposed to have a boyfriend named Ethan, and it was supposed to show he was like he worked at like a
Like an FYE.
Ethan would totally work at he worked at a Sam Goody. Yeah. No, he worked at like he was like a news producer or something. And in the scene where he actually calls her to say that like they took the evidence or whatever, she's in bed and next to her is actually supposed to be him. But they cut him out. So that poor guy's like, I was in the X-Files, man. I was dating Gillian Anderson. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, buddy. You know, like, sorry about it. But yeah, they don't really show any other interest for her.
Yeah.
I think the first season's the only time when they're like, hey, she's got a life outside of work, and thereafter, anybody that's either interested in her or that she's actually hooking up with is the subject of that week's X-Files. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. And then there was the guy she dated who tried to kill her. So that's fun.
You mean
The writer and then the one with the tattoo.
The guy with the tattoo, Jodie Foster.
the writer
Never
guy?
again.
Let's count Luke Wilson.
Yeah, Luke Wilson for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if she's the more reliable narrator in that story, that's the assumption.
Yes,
you're making.
that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Anyway, so
that's not the
Tad,
point, Tony.
Hang on.
Tad, you gotta go. I'm
So
sorry.
we just throw in a love interest. We completely
Yeah,
break
I
the
think-
usual.
Well,
Well-
but they didn't really throw it. She direct one question.
You know what I thought the most awkward part of that in this episode was like when she's on the phone with Mulder and she's outside and she says something to him and you just see
Go onto her shoulder. He's not in the cut at all. And then the next thing, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, he was
like.
He kind of backs off. She's like shrugs him off. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, don't touch me like that.
I mean, I assume it was his hand.
You don't know.
Could have been that weird doctor.
It could have been aliens. Yeah. It just seemed. I think it's another way of Chris Carter trying to be like, they broke up. In case the millions of the articles that people hadn't seen already, talking about how they had separated, wasn't clear, or people who didn't know. It was just sort of like, they broke up, she might be moving on, she might be. But it's like, it lasts for a second. It lasts for a second.
Yeah.
And then she's telling Mulder later on the porch, this guy's full of BS and he's a charmer but he's a player and all this stuff. So I'm like, did she? In my mind, my headcanon is because this is what I like. I'm just gonna fix it.
Is that how an original term? Because
The headcanon? No, that's like an internet. Like you go on Tumblr and they'll be like headcanon. We actually have a little. There's an image of actually how I think of my headcanon. There's like a pirate trying to pull a thing towards the other end. I'm gonna see if you can find it real quick. But in my headcanon, they were doing that. Like there it is. So here's my ship, and then here's me trying to pull it to where. That's the canon is a technical term for like the things that are real and have actually happened, and that's me shipping Mulder and Scully.
Oh no, it's very clear.
I just want to make sure it's super clear.
My ship.
My ship.
Your ship is their ship.
So in my ship of it, she was like, oh, I don't know what's up with this dude. I'm gonna go like hang out with
I'm
him.
gonna go undercover.
I'm gonna go
Sexy
undercover.
black dress.
It wasn't a dress, it was a business like outfit. Okay.
Skirt on?
It was a skirt, but it's not like a sexy dress.
You're like you're applying parts of her character in The Fall, who just like sleeps with everybody.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know
so we got
about
Hank
that.
Moody and the detective from The Fall.
Yeah.
Shit out of that.
Lizzie, I can.
He's watching this right now.
Lizzie, I can show you what that show would look like.
Just be.
Yeah.
Just be this all day. That's all you see.
I watched that for 45 minutes with commercial breaks.
Yeah, but so in my head I'm thinking
They
she's.
have that. It's called porn.
Yeah.
Good. I looked it up. They did
The
make it.
XXX files.
They did, and
There you
it's.
go, yeah.
I looked it up on
Does it
IMDb
itself.
recently while texting with Colleen, and it not only exists, it's 134 minutes long.
Wow, that's too long. That's too long.
Ah, no. What they do is they have somebody. Never, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Like, don't worry about it. It's just like, you know, she has sex with Mulder, she has sex with Skinner, there's an alien, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about it in my head canon. Sorry.
I'm talking about it in
I'm going back to my
the
head
100
canon.
and.
He's talking about his
Oh,
porno.
that's okay, don't worry about it.
Plus, it's a lot of fanfic.
Yeah.
A lot of fanfic.
Oh, like the one at Chili's.
Yeah. Oh boy, let's not even go to the Chili's. You can't even get started on the Chili's. They break a table at Chili's. They're having sex on it so hard. In a fan fiction, which I like can't ever
Did
unread.
they just like toss the FBI badges out and they're like, this is okay, this is fine.
Someone like someone like catches them. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the jalapeno poppers are a part of it.
After a
Was
margarita.
this just like a deep native ad for Chili's?
I mean, yeah, right? They're like, hey, they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Chili's is like, how do we get? So stupid. Okay. So we see that Scully is working as a medical doctor, as per usual, again, at the same damn hospital as the second movie.
Hated working at in the second movie.
When they tried to undermine her.
Where they tried to undermine her and everybody's jag off.
But here's the thing: most people probably hadn't seen that movie, or they wanted to forget it.
And good for you.
Yeah.
Good job.
That-
Good for you.
That they, you know, I will say this though about the second movie,
Yeah.
which we were talking about earlier. Lizzie is in the mindset that it is I believe you called it a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dumpster fire.
Mary, you hadn't seen it in a while, and you thought it was, you couldn't remember really.
No, I saw it when it was in the theaters and remember thinking at the end of it, like, I probably won't have to watch that again.
And then Tony has a different opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a perfectly acceptable two-part episode. And I just think of it like that. It was Frank wrote it?
Frank and Chris Carter did.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a trick thing where there was the writer's strike that happened, and so it kind of got pushed through, and maybe didn't get all the rewrites that maybe it wanted to have, or whatever.
Like maybe you don't need the doc to have.
Yeah, maybe you don't need the doc.
There's like a lot of issues with
Yeah.
it leading up to it, right? They wanted to do it earlier than they were able to
Yeah.
do it. It took a lot longer to make it, and like Carter, you know, had said that he envisioned it as being, you know, you just do a movie every couple of years, and it's kind of like, you know, an extra little season,
Yeah.
and that's what that was. And then it did so poorly, like, we're not doing it ever again.
Well, it went up against Dark Knight, which was a
Terrible
monster.
Yeah, because
During-
that was the problem.
and it was like a winter.
And that was it. It was because of Batman. Yeah.
Just blame Batman for everything.
Batman room.
Yeah, just one more thing. Yeah, so okay, so Scully's at that same hospital, and Mulder is.
Hang on. She's a medical doctor.
She's a medical doctor. That is true.
And is that your thing real? Like, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to Google it because I don't want to know, but.
It was
What
one
would you
thing
Google?
real.
Kids without ears disease.
Is kids with ears disease real?
Real. Question. Question
Yeah,
mark.
But also, like, didn't they kind of have an X-File like that in 6 or 7? The Hungry?
Yeah, there was a guy that was like a shark person.
Yeah, he was a shark person,
Yeah.
You know what's fun? I was in.
They show a screen grab of it during this episode.
Yeah.
Did they? Oh yeah, the guy with the
Oh, I
eyes.
did like that with the pictures.
Yeah.
It was definitely a greatest hits of like seasons 1 through 4, and then like nothing else after that.
No, they had. I was actually surprised by him as it being Chris Carter, who tried to say in the behind-the-scenes special that Mulder and Scully were platonic for 9 years. I mean, I'm sorry. What are you
They
talking
were
about?
definitely banging by 7.
Yes.
Definitely like walking out of closet.
But yeah, right, like
She's
fixing their
adjusting,
hair.
She's like adjusting his shirt as
Yeah.
she like answers the phone.
Yeah,
She's like,
it's like, all
what's
right,
happening?
come on. But all those images that he was putting down in the beginning, there were a lot of like shipper-y kind of images of like her by his bed and them like hugging, and then of course the picture of them hugging gets set on fire. I'm like, all right, let's calm down with the metaphors about the breakup, but okay. So yeah, okay, so Mulder is still being a hermit, like how we saw him in the second movie as
By
well.
the way, Svetta's house and Mulder's house?
Like, right?
Yeah, could not tell.
Also, she's like, how
Houses,
young is
houses
she?
in the field. Well, when you have a house in the field, you can be young and afford things. You live in LA, your mind is skewed.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is
that's why.
secretly
You can get that house in LA,
Right
but it's
now.
like $1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
It seems like a pretty simple
1.5,
ride.
isn't it?
Right.
Never several times.
It's like regular
Well,
parlance term.
I'm still buried in student loan debt.
Yeah, I know.
But my thing about Sveta, I have a couple things about Sveta. Number one, her
Sveta?
is that it?
Let's start with the name.
Let's start with the name. Start with
So
the name.
Sveta was a character in this episode,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Who allegedly got abducted by aliens.
Right.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yes.
And she had some ice cream scoops out of her tum-tum.
Yeah, little
Still
tiny
there,
ones.
20 years later.
They made it seem like that was something we should have recognized, like, right? Or at least,
Which we've never seen that.
No.
Michelle. Oh, look, an alien.
Alien
Oh,
butt.
alien
butt.
Right. So okay, so Sveta was supposedly abducted by this guy, this kind of guy, right? Who I love this pose was sort of like, oh no, what? Caught
So
me.
risque.
What?
Shoot me with your bullets.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Ooh, oh, he's back. Now I feel guilty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made fun of you.
Objectifying him.
You're, clearly vulnerable right there. Okay. So Sveta, she's from the Americans. If we can get her picture up, actually, so we can kind of.
Yeah, she was.
Criticize her more thoroughly. That's what we're gonna do.
She's the young girl. She has like
Right.
long brown hair. Boom!
There
There she is. So this is Sveta, the new-ish character who was supposedly abducted by aliens.
Spoiler, she doesn't make it to do the
Yeah, there she is. She's from the Americans, which I've heard people be like, she's really good on it. I feel like her performance was kind of flat.
Well, half of this episode is just not there.
Right.
Like, it's just straight up not there.
But she's supposed to be like a
When
person
did
who's been
when did they open
affected
the
by
champagne?
like
Fox News clip.
when did they
Yeah.
open this?
Right.
That's your favorite part.
Yeah. Well, to me too, like, if we go bigger on this image real quick, the background of her house is like, is that her grandma's house? Like, what is going on?
Why is that Mulder? Why do you need to know the backstory to this? Is that important?
It just.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Well,
what
but
did
didn't
this
she
happen in
mention-
Russia? Or, like,
Yeah,
is she part of the Russian?
She says something the first
See, that's a
time
much
they met.
that's a
Yeah.
much more important backstory question than
Yeah.
is this her grandma?
All right, listen.
When they met, she says something to Mulder like,
You remember me?
yeah.
Yeah, but they never explain it.
Right.
Don't know where they
Like,
met.
was she around the fire project with one hand?
Exactly, like.
No. He said, use your ears and listen.
Yeah.
He had said, she
It's really
said.
tough.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really tough to
I
get
heard
her
it.
watching it in the store, but that's
All right.
Everybody should know we're watching this in the middle of Meltdown Comics, which is a fantastic store,
Yes.
and we love going here.
Yes.
But it is rather loud in the lead up to Harmontown, so it's kind of hard to get to.
Yeah.
They're
I
the
blame
best
football.
TV
I blame football. But okay, so just to clarify for you, when she's at the door and she says, "Do you remember me?" You interviewed me 10 years ago when I was abducted. Like, so it was like he was doing some like info, like investigating. Although
But it's all like off-screen exposition.
it is, yeah.
10 years ago is when he started this new obsession and this continuation of the idea that it's all a big,
A lie.
Yeah, all a lie. Because that's where the doctor, which man, that doctor really didn't need that mole.
I've
got a mole here,
it was
and now
to,
a mole here.
Make it very, very obvious that the guy in the flashbacks
Right.
was the
Same
old
as the
guy.
old
Yeah.
But then they still did the flashback when he was on screen.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that connects to my struggle too, because like they never wrap any of that shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with when you're taking on something like this in the way that like Star Wars was sort of like, you know what, we're gonna go back and you guys were burnt by the prequels. We're gonna, you're sad, scared little birds. We're gonna go back to the things that you like.
Well, no, but at the same time, Star Wars also was able to give you like that new character to bring you in, right? Like X-Files doesn't have the opportunity in 41 minutes probably.
42 maybe.
Yeah, to like introduce you to a new character who's gonna like kind of bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
Like they just have to go.
I mean, that's my overall biggest critique of this is that you have to reestablish things. You have to try to set stuff up. You have to I mean, they could have done a thing where it was like new agents at the FBI and they're calling in the old ones, but I kind of don't mind
They did
that
that in
they.
a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was waiting for Exhibit.
I would love Exhibit to do
I
so.
feel like bad for him though, right? Because what did he do after the X-Files movie didn't do well? Like, it's not like it wasn't his
14
fault.
seasons of Conrad.
Sure, that's the obvious answer to that, Tony. But he was clearly trying to break into movies at the time.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah.
we can go what we want.
They never really
As
tried.
a character,
I mean,
in the second movie, let alone like allow him to go.
Oh, look at
into
this.
the movie.
This is the part where Mulder and
yes.
Skinner almost
Yeah.
kiss.
Yeah.
It was super
I'll ship it
intimate.
too. I mean, but here's the thing that was fun
Weird on
too.
weird
is-
action.
So we don't know anything about Sveta, and that's not really earned. But having that is very close. But having Skinner, who P.S. has like aged fantastically.
Right, so much better than David Duchovny. I'm sorry.
Oh, bam! The gauntlet has
I'm with
been
Mary.
thrown.
I'm with Mary.
I mean, I thought that Skinner was kind of like, I love the new glasses, awesome. He's got a little beard going on, so now it's like, oh, he's like a silver fox, but like maybe even a platinum fox. I don't even know.
Well, but drop the beard and he doesn't look different.
Yeah,
Right.
No,
he
I
looks
think
exactly
he
the
does.
same.
I
don't
think he
know.
looks better now than
Yeah.
he did.
Wow.
I
Maybe it's just because
yeah.
maybe you've got
Right,
older.
you've got
Maybe
older.
I got-
Yeah,
No.
your
No,
type
no,
of
no.
man has evolved over that period of time.
No.
It's not
Look
the
at how
young
that shirt
kids.
is fitting him.
Oh, he's always been
No,
like
no, no.
muscular
Well,
dream man.
that's something I did want to touch upon is that the wardrobe of the new show is way better than of the 90s. I mean, I love the nostalgia of the 90s and the crazy Scully hair from the first 2-3 seasons, and then her like crazy shoulder pads. This is like all the suits that she was wearing. She was looking like good.
Yeah, she wrote that into the contract.
Yeah. She got
Dress me
the
like
she
an
got
adult.
no. She got the costume designer from Hannibal.
I was just gonna say that. I feel like this episode, David Duchovny was dressed like he was still in Californication, and she was dressed like she was still in Hannibal. Like, they just
They're trying
Look, see right
to-
here. See, this is the biggest difference here. It's like, hi, I'm doing great. I'm a medical doctor. I've moved on, and I'm okay. He's just like, I don't know.
I mean, he made a.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, there you
He
go.
made a reference that they may have been married.
Here's the thing. Okay, so let's get into Wifegate, right? Here's even a thing about Wifegate. So there were many different gates that happened over the summer while this was shooting within the fandom. One of them was Wifegate,
I totally missed Wifegate.
and one of them was Ringgate. Now,
Ringgate and Wifegate were pretty closely
this is
tied.
an image here that plays to Ringgate here. See, Scully has her classic cross on, and then down below, it's hard to see because
Right
it's
underneath
on the
the
subscribe,
subscribe.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there was a close up of, there's the flashlight flirting clip from the previews
Trailer.
that they've had in
Yeah.
trailers. And lower on her shirts, which are all like without buttons and open all the damn time, and I'm like, get it, girl. She has supposedly looks like either another necklace on, or like some kind of some people speculated it was a badge, but the way that it would hang, that people would see it, that it would glimmer, that they thought she was wearing a ring, that Mulder and Scully had been married and they broke up, and that she was wearing the ring on her necklace. And so that was a huge thing within the fandom.
That was Ringgate.
That was Ringgate because, and Ringgate was born of Wifegate because David Duchovny, and I do have a clip here. There's an image of him talking, and he says that he's been diagnosed as depressed by his wife, Scully, and he said it at New York Comic Con when they aired. Here it is. Yeah, it's blocked a little bit, but that Mulder has been diagnosed depressed by his wife, Dr. Scully. So he said that.
Wouldn't it have been common law to marry?
Technically, I looked this up. Listen,
You
I
looked it up?
I looked it up.
They didn't actually say
It's
that.
not. You don't. There's no common law marriage in Virginia, which is where they live. But so he said this at Comic-Con, and then in a separate thing, he had said, "Well, you see that he's not in a good place because he's." Has the 5 o'clock shadow and he's sad, and typical TV I'm sad look. And he said that obviously things didn't work out for him and his wife, Scully. And then Carter, someone asked Carter at like a panel, because they were doing a bunch of panels, and Carter was like, this is surprising to me, but I don't believe a damn thing that comes out of his mouth, because I'm like, this could be a lie, this could be a campaign of misinformation, like I don't know what's happening.
And
And it was the company not remembering.
He doesn't know.
And so,
He has no idea. He's
and
never
so
even seen an
then,
episode
so
of
then,
the
this,
married season 3?
so then this happened on Tumblr where someone had Scully putting her hand over and it's his wife Gate's sad face, and that was like, oh darn, it's gone. And there was people who thought maybe it could still be alive, but then what had happened as soon as he said wife Gate, people were then like, oh, because one of the things that Carter had said about his reason for breaking them up was that he thought it was within the evolution of what happened between them because of, I'm assuming because of the, like, Mulder believes the world's ending at 2012. It doesn't happen. He's been wrong. He's questioning everything. She's trying to move on.